It has been 7 days since Chris last begged for money. It has been 242 days since Chris last uploaded pages to meet his paid obligations to Sonichu. It has been 3,903 days since Chris last applied for a job. If you remember, Chris is trying to sell a complete set of all of his Sonichu cards signed by him. He claims that 70% of the profits will be distributed amongst the brony artists and vendors whose livelihoods were affected by COVID-19. By this he means that he will spend 70% of the profits on their online stores. It is currently selling for $550. Seriously, this set is available for immediate shipping right now. That brown box in the corner of the photo is what they'll be shipped in. Awesome deal. And helping the brony artists. And then some lightning bolts. As far as I know, Chris is still possessed by Sonichu. Grape, balls of grape. I think that's supposed to be a pun, like great balls of grape. I don't know, I can't read his mind. There's a lot of grape content. I think, yeah, it's supposed to be great. In this Tokyo treat box. At least it's not wine, but still yummy. So Chris is spending money on a Tokyo treat box, probably a monthly subscription service. I loves me some fruit and fruity flavors. So many of your tweets sound like ads. Chris retweets a tweet about relationship green flags, so that would be things that people do that are good. Like self-responsibility, openly communicate, spirituality, empathy, self-reflectiveness, etc. Chris, of course, has never been in a relationship. On May 25th, 11 days after posting the $550 Sonichu cards, Chris says, "Ugh, will someone buy the set of cards already? Please!" This is him begging for money. $500 on some self-printed cardboard. Chris uses the Pokemon Go photo AR mode to say, "Mewtwo sharing good vibes with those true and good in soul, heart, and intentions, as well as those down on their present luck." I wonder if he thought that he could see Mewtwo back before Pokemon Go was a thing. Chris then sent this, which is pretty interesting. "Hey Pokemon Go peeps, I have a friend who is kind of a shut-in that still gets out and about. He needs a bunch more friends to exchange gifts with, so send him a friend request. He will be very happy for the help." And then there's the friend code, thanks. So I am fairly certain that this is actually not Chris. People are asking if this is just Chris's like second account or something. I don't think that's the case. There is reason to believe that Chris has actually made new friends recently from his Dungeons & Dragons group. And this is probably one of them. Alright, if you're ready to get pissed off, finally got that stimulus check. I purchased an iPad and some accessories, downloaded Clip Studio, and this pair of hands just made a drawing on the tablet. Any tablet for the first time. I had a frustrating experience. Isn't it great that Chris got a lot of money. Chris got $1,200 and he spent it on an iPad because he definitely needed one. Whew. Not food for his cats or his mom or pay off his debts that he has or anything like that. So now Sonichu is talking. He's quote tweeting that last tweet. "The biggest problem was being in pen mode and the color selection eyedropper tool kept popping up when I was supposed to be drawing. Gah. At least I survived this. Survived? At least I survived this time. And yes, that is literally my own signature. That is how I sign my name when I do. Because remember, he's Sonichu. So he signs his name with these terrifying squiggles. Imagine seeing that on a legal document. Alright, so, I'm so sorry for this. Here we have Jacob Sockness. "Pride colors. I'm ready for San Francisco Pride. I have enough rainbows to make Rainbow Dash blush." So he's wearing this, and he's got Sonichu medallion. Let's just keep scrolling. Chris is actually still talking to Jacob, apparently. Don't know why. She, meaning Rainbow Dash, she'd say you could stand to be 20% cooler, dude, which is a My Little Pony meme. So Jacob responds, "Okay, 20% cooler." Now he's wearing a hat. Chris responds with a laughing Rainbow Dash gif. So, yeah, Jacob and Chris are back in contact. That's fantastic. Love it. It's so good. Okay, so this is a tweet about how most of the corona infections and deaths are happening in the, like, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut metropolitan area, and how the rest of the country should open because the numbers are misleading. And Jacob says, Now I'm pissed. New York is the trash that effed our whole country. Cut their, wrong form of their, water off and let them pass into memory. Why are we saving liberal scum? So, Chris decides to answer to this. And he says, actually, the toll seems to be more in between Jersey and Connecticut, with only the southeastern corner of New York. Go figure, with Gotham City in Jersey, no surprise. So yes, seeing as this is in fact New York City right here, and this is in fact New Jersey and Connecticut, yeah, that's great. Even from tourists, I never heard anything good about it. He's saying that because he knows that I'm in New Jersey right now. Chris responds, only if you're in the crime district will you be in greater trouble. The crime district in Gotham, is that a thing? I'm not that into Batman, but do they have a specific crime district? Huh, just learned from Gino Samuel that this song album is a thing. Personally, I chalk it up as a piece of literal irony. Don't think that's what irony is. I think this is the same album that I just took my song from my last issue of Sonichu, the Revive Zordon. I think that comes from this album. I'd have to double check that. If Gino posted about that this week, then that's a big coincidence. That's really cool. Chris found this picture in the Gino Samuel documentary. And that includes this one. Yep, that's a derp face. Go ahead and meme this out of context. Well, whoop-de-derp-ta-dum. Now, when I started recording this video a couple minutes ago, I've been very much looking forward for reading how Chris has been responding to the civil unrest in the United States. But as I get closer to the top, it looks like he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't. So yeah, that is unfortunately it. Chris's last comment was 2 days ago. He has said nothing about George Floyd. He has said nothing about the protests. He has said nothing about the riots. Nothing about Trump. Who knows? I was looking for some good old-fashioned Chris Chan lolcow material, but he's just been silent on the whole issue, so I guess we'll have to wait another week. Thanks for watching. I actually have an Ask Me Anything coming up soon. It is for patrons above the $5 level on my Patreon. Yep, patrons on my Patreon. That's good talking there, GiBi. So look forward to that. I'm also still doing Sonichu. I have 3 or 4-ish issues left. Chris didn't finish the most recent couple issues of Sonichu, so it's going to be kind of hard to put those into a video, but that is almost done. I hope that you and your families are all staying safe in this time of COVID. Okay, so after I was done editing this video, sorry if the audio quality is a little different, after I was done editing, Chris posted this insane rant on Twitter, and so I have to add it to this week's video. It's not Chris, it's obviously still Sonichu talking. Hey everyone, Sonichu still here. A fated moment is upon us, as Mama and everyone else had foreseen and experienced before. Okay, so fated moment. He's talking about things that are destined to happen, big universal events. I'm guessing that what's going to happen, that what he's going to talk about is, you know, that big thing that's kind of happening worldwide at the moment, but let's see. Pretty much, he's talking about the fated event. It's a pretty much let you know for now, but over the past couple of decades, Mama Chris Chan has been trolled, bullied, blackmailed, that's my dog in the background, deceived, and all that. No freaking surprises, but her developing abilities, especially further developed over the past few years, she's learned from seeing into everyone's intentions, for good, bad, or indifferent, and everything else from throughout the farthest reaches of dimensions, space, and all time. Okay, I need to read that as not a run-on sentence. Give me a minute. Okay, so through her developing abilities, she has learned, because she's seeing everyone's good intentions, and everyone's bad intentions, and everyone's different intentions. And she's seeing them all through the furthest reaches of space, dimensions, and time. He worded that just so poorly. So with that, it comes to no surprise how often people of course, talk smack and behind Mama's back online, yet they subconsciously, mostly, are genuinely concerned with her present well-being, as opposed to those few who genuinely want to see her fail. I mean, it's true. People do talk bad about Chris online, but they don't want him to be hurt because they're not terrible people. He's just an idiot. With that, she, meaning Chris, even knows, personally, of those in the online communities, in addition to and aside from the Quickie. There are literally those amongst her favorites in the Brony community, some of the analysts in particular. So he's saying that he knows some of the people who do this. She has been aware of those who wish to leech off of her success and misfortunes for their own personal gains, including Dylan Thomas and Ben Saint. but she has been most kind with them and their doings, as theirs were fated events that she had to witness for herself. So if he can see all the way through time and space and dimensions, and now he knows that Ben Saint was just taking advantage of him. It's so confusing. How can he say that it's a fated, destined event for him to have to be manipulated by Ben Saint, but also say that he had to experience this to grow and learn, but that he could foresee? I don't get it. I don't get it. Even amongst other individuals of other planet Dolan, I don't get it. Even amongst other individuals, of other planet Dolan, Sonic fandom, Lego, and so on, into all the communities, either themselves, personally, with an online Anon alias, or with the help of their mod squad. Even SNT herself would give the person behind that a piece of her mind for talking ill of her out loud. I don't know what this means. I cannot follow his sentence structure. But I digress, Chris's favorite word. In the days to come, while only the truest haters and bad cynicals will find chaos in their minds, but everyone will be considered and exposed, including blank, 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 and you, blank. Even Noel will be cowering before the judgment of the good deities, including Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu herself. That is all for now. Stay safe and zap it up. Okay, so, a couple years ago, by which I mean like 10 years ago, Chris thought he had the name of some of his trolls. He thought that he had their doxes. And he threatened to release their doxes online unless they apologized to him. And then they didn't, and then he did, but like the names were wrong and no one cared. So right now Chris is kind of doing that same thing again. He's going to expose 4 people who he currently has their names blank, but he's going to expose these 4 people in the near future for being people who troll him and talk about him behind his back, but who actually care for his well-being. And he says that even Noel will be cowering before Chris's judgment as a god. So, I don't know who these 4 people are going to be. I hope one of them's Jacob. That'd be nice. Kind of worried. I'm actually going to guess. So, tangent. This guy, Protoman00 Milk Cookies, whatever his name is. He has a 19-page Microsoft Word Google document explaining with evidence why Chris does not actually believe in the dimensional merge. How Chris's contradictions prove that he does not actually believe in it, and is just making it up either for attention or money, or as an escapist fantasy, something like that. I'm fairly certain he's one of those 4, because Chris likes this guy. So one of these 4 is almost certainly Proto-Man. Hoping one of them is Jacob. Kind of worried that one of them might be MKR, because Jacob and MKR are in this ongoing, forever long war where they're both trying to convince Chris that the other one doesn't actually have his best interest at heart. So even though I'm not the biggest fan of MKR, between her and Jacob, I'm gonna pick the not Jacob side. So of these 4, pretty sure one's Proto-Man, pretty sure the other one's either Jacob or MKR. Don't know about the other 2. But yeah, I had to add this at the end of the video. Also, I'll just take this time to announce that I'm going to be making a video covering Proto-Man's evidence document. It's pretty good, and I've already read through it. I just want to make a big video about the evidence that's been compiled. So, that's it for the last minute update.